we're gonna go Ubering today, and I drive Uber just the last month, so figuring out how to do it was kind of a trial by error. Um, you can see a video, there's the app, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's just like picking friends up and taking them somewhere. There are some different things that you got to figure out, and there's a little anxiety there. So hopefully this video will relieve some of that and and make you feel more comfortable picking strangers up and driving them places. Which I don't have a problem with the strangers, but the app and the navigation and some of the nuances are. So I have a 2012 Prius and a phone with unlimited data, and I have a business. I sell and install Dish Network and DirecTV, and we have a showroom on a main road in town here. So we're in the Portland metro area, which is a good place to drive people around because a lot of people are tech savvy and have and use Uber. So, and many people drive it. For those that don't and are looking for work, I decided I might do that when it's slow in the office. My wife and I both sitting there, and if it's slow, I don't feel like going out and knocking doors and selling satellite. So if I feel like Ubering, I turn the app on and away I go. And I've made, anywhere from a few $100s to $800 in a week. What I found is that I like doing it. I like meeting all kinds of new people. I like meeting people that speak different languages and having conversations with people. So maybe that's why I sell stuff, like satellite. So what I do is I drive for Lyft and Uber. I figured why do one and not the other? They're the same thing, and I'd have twice as many chances of getting customers as if I just did one. Why limit myself? And I like some things about the Lyft app that I don't have on the Uber app. You can tip on the Lyft app, so people aren't fumbling for a couple bucks to give you in that awkward exchange. They can do it on their phone, when they check out or give you 5 stars or whatever. And so I like that feature, although I probably now get more tips Ubering in cash than I do on the credit card on Lyft. I also am much busier with Lyft or with Uber than I am with Lyft. So if you're just a Lyft driver and you're waiting for a ride, if I turn them both on, I'm going to get an Uber ride 3/4 of the time. I do about 25% Lyft to 75% Uber. And I probably give Lyft more of an advantage in that because I was trying to hit 50 rides in a month, and it took me 3 weeks to do it. So one day I also did 7 or 8 Lyft rides, pretty consistently, and didn't get as much Uber, but that was a one-off. It's usually the other way around. And Uber can keep you pretty busy, especially if you go to, the busy area of town. For this is, downtown Portland up Burnside and across the bridge there. So, there's lots of people getting rides because parking is not ideal. So that's one reason. I've also taken kids home from school, taken them to get Frosties at Wendy's because they were free. Not exactly on mom's credit card free. So picked kids up in the middle of the night and drove them home because they snuck out, and I didn't have a problem with that because I was taking them home. And I've met some people from India, from Pakistan, from Iran, all over the map. People take Uber when they're going to go out and drink with friends. They take Uber when they're going from one law office to another, especially downtown. Usually the lawyers will be on the phone the whole time, and I'm picking kids up to pick up cars, people who've left cars places. So there's a large amount of people that use Uber and a lot of different reasons why people drive Uber. At this point, I'm kind of doing it because I like it, and it's extra money is not bad. So I'll show you how the app works and how to start getting rides. So when I started, it was on a Friday. I went to uber.com and I looked at it. It says become a driver, plug in your info. You got to give them your social, and you take a picture of your driver's license and your insurance and your, all of those things. They do a background check and they check your driving record, so everybody's checked out pretty much. And then you'll go to the Uber office, and for here it's by Lloyd Center, Portland Metro. It's by Lloyd Center. They'll do a inspection on your vehicle. It has to be a 06 or newer and can't be rented. You have to be leased or owned or purchasing it. And I didn't know that, but a friend told me because he rents a vehicle and you can drive Lyft with that, but not Uber. And once all that's done, then they say you're good to go. And watch this video on how to get rides, and then from then on, you're on your own. So there's also Uber deliveries, and I have kind of mixed feelings there. I'm not sure. Sometimes I even turn the Uber app off downtown or in Portland and only do Lyft because I don't want to find parking and take food to someone. So let's take a look at the app. So here's my phone. It's just an iPhone. And right now it says fares are currently 1.4 normal Uber rate in Clark County. So if I click turn on my phone here and I go to the Uber app and I look at it, it won't say that it's surging. So in this app, see right here, we're offline, and switch that over and you're online. But in this app, you just click on that guy and there you are, your car, and it geo-tracks you. And down here, you got some options. You can look at your earnings, your ratings, and your account. So you can move this around. And if there's an event going on, there'll be a bubble. Usually there's one by the airport, and when you click on it, it'll tell you how many people are in the queue at the airport. So when you get rides out of the airport, you have to sit in a holding bin, a parking lot that they have designed for taxi, Lyft, and Uber drivers. And when you're sitting in there, once you get in there, it puts you in line. So there's 58 drivers in there. My experience has been it's about a minute per car or more. But the other day, coming back from Thanksgiving holiday, I saw that it was surging at the airport, and I was close, so I went in there. And they have porta potties there. So before I even got out of the porta potty, I had a ride. Usually it's a minute per car ahead of you, and I've never waited less than an hour. I've done it 4 times. So I think that's a big enough sample to tell me that I'm not the kind of driver that wants to work the airport. It looks like others are, because there's 50 to 80 of them in there, and that's just Uber. Some of them do Uber and Lyft. Some of them do just Lyft. Lyft usually has about the same number, and I think there's at least that many taxis there. So, there are guaranteed rides, but you don't need a guarantee doing this. Just drive, I don't even drive around looking. I'll turn it on at my office. Like right now, we'll turn it on. So we're working right now. And if we don't want to work, we're not working. So you can see the flexibility that has in someone's schedule. So if I click on this and I look at earnings, it's Monday, so I have none. You can look at your trip history. So here's Saturday night, all the rides that I did, which was a fun night. And I will say, I've never had anybody in my car that I didn't like. And that's about 150 Uber and about 90 Lyft. So I am pretty happy with the way things are going. So Lyft, I just click that one on. Now if I have them both on at the same time, which I usually do, and you can see the Lyft app, you just click go online. Same story, you can move around the map, earnings, and your account, and you can see the airport here has a little airplane there, and you click on that, and there's 43 drivers in there. On the Lyft app, if you click that again, it'll say
navigating to Portland Airport.
Yeah, click anywhere and it'll stop that, but it'll even take you there, navigate to there. So you can see we're in Portland Metro DMA, and the Lyft app, there we are. So navigation, you can switch from the navigation. You can choose what navigation you want, and with Lyft I use Waze. I tried using that with Uber, and my car was sometimes 2 blocks away from the road. So Waze also checks traffic, and I kind of like some of that. And you can plug in favorites and stuff like that. If there's a traffic problem, it'll be red. So you can take a look. There's all the freeways. Everything looks good. It'll tell you where policemen are, where red light cameras are, where accidents are. You know, like they're moderate traffic, 3.6 miles down I-5, you know. And then there's something in the way. Vehicle stopped on the shoulder, it'll tell you that, and it's usually right, along with the policeman. But it works seamlessly. I think Lyft and Waze have worked together on the app, because there's also, when you click on go to, it'll automatically switch you to that because you select that. And there's a button on there to go back to the Lyft app, because you have to navigate back into the Lyft. You got to close Waze and go into the Lyft app to tell the rider that you've arrived, and click that you're confirmed and get the address where they're going to, and then it goes back to the Waze again. So with so we'll go ahead and go to work now. And with the Uber app, I just use the navigation that it comes with. It keeps me in the app. I don't bounce out to another one, and it's more accurate than the Waze. And I used Google Maps, and it didn't work real well. So that was early on. I thought that would be the way to go, and I moved out of that quickly because it didn't work. And you know, if it don't work, you use navigation on your car. So it's going to track where you go and how long it takes, I believe. Don't matter what, even if you don't put an address in at the customer and you just drive them to the store and back, you're still going to get paid. So I have an iPhone, and I don't know whether it happens on Android or not, but on Lyft, sometimes it freezes. So like if you click I've arrived, and it just spins forever. Well, it's every time it's acknowledged that I've arrived, and in order to get out of that, I thought I couldn't do it in the middle of a ride because I would cancel it out in some way, and you don't want to do that. So you have to shut your phone down and start it back up, which takes a while, and then open the Lyft app, and then it's put you right where you left off, like it's not spinning anymore. That's the only solution I've found to get away from that, and that is a problem. So that's a little bit about. So we're online with Lyft, and we're online with Uber, and when I get a ride, I'm going to, it gives you a few seconds, so you got to be on top of it if you got them both on. And I will close, I'll go offline on the one that I don't got a ride on before I accept the ride on the other app. So that's a little bit about how to get set up. You know, other than that, I have some waters. People like to hydrate, especially if they've been drinking. You know, I got gum and mints, and you know, I've got Android and iPhone chargers. So people often are very thankful if you can charge their phone. And if you see them, they get in and they don't want to converse at all they do is they're on their phone, then I'll ask them if they need a charge for that thing, because they've probably been on it all day. Sometimes they do, and they're, you know, really thankful, and I throw them a cord. Other than that, I have an auxiliary cable for the stereo. Younger people almost always want to ask you if you have aux. So I didn't know what they were talking about. I thought they wanted Oxycontin or something. I didn't, no, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm an Uber driver, man. You know, it's not that. It's that they want to play their music off their phone. So don't think negatively about them. But, you know, if they were on Oxy, at least they're calling you to get a ride. So here we are. We're on our way, and we'll get a ding here pretty soon. So we're in my office with my Yorkie and my wife hiding behind the desk. And we got the Uber and so here's Uber, and there's 46 cars at the airport. So if you want to wait an hour to make $10, go for it. And made a little clip of that holding area I'll put on here. But you know, there's my car. So as soon as we get a ride, run out there and jump in and go get them. But I can do work around here, and as soon as I get a ding, I respond and drop what I'm doing and go. And that works pretty well. So as soon as this thing dings, I'll show you what it looks like. So now we got a ride. Gotta hurry up and turn that off. And then we're going to 132nd, Highway 99 up the road. Click navigate.
In 2.2 miles, make a right turn on Northeast 129th Street.
Get the light that gets by.
So when you get closer, will be a little pin, and I think she's at Safeway. The only way to
arrive on your
tell
right.
is to click
NEHW
the overview,
Washington 98687,
and or when you get
USA.
close. So I wonder if. So I got a wave. Got a cart full of groceries here. So I'm gonna put down the camera because I'm gonna. Closer will be a little pin, and I think she's at Safeway. The only way to tell is to click the overview, and or when you get close. So we got a wave, we got a cart full of groceries here. groceries. So I click start trip. You just swipe it to the right. We're going to 114th Street, huh? Click navigate, and away we go. How are you doing? Produce at Chuck's as well, and most everything but chicken. Yeah, Chuck's, the chicken there's a crazy price. So you going to school? Got a lot going on. Video on how to do Uber. That's why I had the camera. So your voice and stuff might be on a little video I'm making. Because people say, hey, you know, I do it, but I'm afraid of strangers, you know, doing it. You know, and there's nobody been in my car that is scared. I mean, everybody's like you, really cool. Easy, just like driving friends around. back to the office, and we'll see. Usually I don't make it back to the office. I'll get a ding.
With Tony and Kevin away.
Here's the lift. It said I lost contact with it, so I turned it off and turned it on, and it just spins. So there's an example of Lyft not working good on the iPhone, and you got to turn it off. And then turn it back on.
This is really tough to do when you're being hurt. Kale can start. It's just straight down that road.
Kale, start just going straight down that road.
Okay.
Come on, iPhone. There we go. So he let it do its thing. Say you lost contact with your Lyft system often, and you turn it and find a better network or whatever. Well, I got unlimited Sprint. I don't know what. I'm on Wi-Fi. I don't know what the deal is, but it'll do this like when you pick someone up, and then it'll just spin, and you have to turn it off, and then turn it back on, and then it'll be fine. So that's how long it takes, and you got a rider in the back going, well, I'll tell you where to go. But go online and see everything's fine now. Go offline. It says driver mode off. Go online. So that's how you fix that, and it doesn't lose the drive that you're on. Keeps that info, and it actually has in fact finished clicking the button that you clicked and made it do the spinny thing. So
In 300 feet, you'll arrive.
So in 300 feet we'll arrive. So it looks like it's just past this block. So here's what the app's doing on a lift.
You've arrived at your destination.
So then I'll hit this little Lyft logo, and it'll put me back here, and it says 1425 Southeast 24th, 1117. There we go. You get the wave down.